Good day and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining me this week to look at September the 28th through October the 4th. Now, we finally got some cooler weather here in Houston, actually making it feel very fall-like. We don't really get cooler temperatures here until November, but of course we're happy to have any break in the hot weather. And this is the beginning of the fall festivals as we honor the season of harvest. The big news this week is that Mercury is retrograde. It's time to start looking backwards and taking care of existing ventures, not the time to start anything new. We have a very long void of course moon from Monday evening until Tuesday evening at 10:41 p.m. This may make Tuesday not go as you planned. Try to keep a good attitude on that day. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can always reach me through Lillyroddyshow at AOL.com or at our website, Lillyroddyshow.com, or find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll get weekly notices when the program is uploaded. Well, let's look at next week. Sunday, September the 28th, the moon travels through powerful and passionate Scorpio as our day begins. However, she will become void of course in Scorpio during the mid-afternoon at 3:31 p.m. and remain so for a brief time until she moves into freedom-loving Sagittarius at 5:50 p.m. In the afternoon, the moon sextiles Venus at 3:31 p.m. We are certainly in the mood for a pleasant afternoon with this aspect. This is a good time to be with someone special or with people that you really enjoy. This is a great time to work on your partnership. The moon is now void of course in Scorpio at 3:31 p.m. until 5:50 p.m. when she enters Sagittarius. Although when the moon enters Sag, she is no longer void, there are no aspects for the rest of the day. And we should experience life at a more relaxed pace. And remember, Mercury stationary retrograde is right around the corner. Mercury retrograde is already happening. Mercury will officially turn stationary retrograde on October the 4th. However, we are feeling the effects of Mercury retrograde starting today, September the 28th. This influence will affect us through October the 30th. During this Mercury retrograde time frame, focus on what you've been working on and put your new projects off until after October the 30th. If you haven't started on your new projects, it's already too late. Monday, September the 29th, the moon transits Sagittarius, the sign of the world traveler. Although she is in Sag for the entire day, she does become void of course very late in the evening at 10:29 p.m. and remains so for the rest of the evening and for almost the entire day on Tuesday. This long void of course moon time frame will last for just over 25 hours. Get most of your important activities taken place and taken care of today on Monday so you can enjoy the more casual pace on Tuesday. In the morning, the moon squares Neptune at 3:43 a.m. This is a great aspect for sleeping or just being alone with your thoughts. A little bit later in the morning, the moon sextiles the sun at 5:10 a.m. This is a good morning to be up early and getting as much done as you can. This will help to start our day with a positive attitude. In the afternoon, the moon conjuncts Mars. We are much more harried this afternoon with these energies. Our emotions are in control as we confront things that stand in our way or issues that scare us. We can experience the most happiness if you're doing exactly what you want to do. Venus, planet of love and money, enters Libra at 3:52 p.m. and will remain there for approximately the next 25 days. Libra is the home sign of Venus. With Venus in Libra, this should help to make everyone just want to get along. This can be a time of understanding and clarity in partnerships, and especially in conflicts. Libra is always important when we're dealing with conflicts. In the evening, the moon trines Uranus at 8:46 p.m. During the evening hours, we're much more interested in getting out and expanding our world. So this energy is best used for being out with your friends, attending a lecture, or being active in your community. And finally, the moon trines Jupiter at 10:29 p.m. The positive energies continue throughout the later evening. This aspect helps us to feel better, especially about anything in which we want to indulge. It's a great time to indulge. The moon is now void, of course, in Sagittarius at 10:29 p.m. and will remain so until late Tuesday evening at 11:41 p.m. when she moves into Capricorn. This will be another one of those long, void, of course, moon time frames. This one lasts a little over 25 hours. Tuesday, September the 30th, the moon begins the day, void of course, in philosophical Sagittarius, and remains so for pretty much the entire day. However, she finally enters ambitious Capricorn at 11:41 p.m. and ends another one of those long 24-hour moon, void of course, time frames. There are no exact planetary aspects for the day, so be sure to give yourself an extra long tether this whole day. Try and keep your activities focused on the things that directly interest you. If you do, you'll find your days a lot more productive with these void of course moons. The moon does enter socially conscious Capricorn at 11:41 p.m. and we're feeling more grounded and focused. Wednesday, October the 1st, the moon resides in practical and prudent Capricorn all day. Early in the morning, the moon sextiles Mercury at 2:38 a.m. If you're awake at this time, it's a great time for organizing and getting projects completed that you've already initiated. Just a little bit later, the moon squares Venus at 2:52 a.m. It's a wonderful time to indulge yourself in beautiful dreams. That reminds me of the Andy Williams song, Moon River. In the morning, the moon sextiles Neptune at 9 a.m. We are encountering our morning in a very laid-back frame of mind. We feel more connected, compassionate, and helpful to those around us. This is a great time to meet with clients or customers. In the afternoon, the moon squares the sun at 2:32 p.m. We need a break in our routine during this mid-afternoon time. We're not as patient as we were earlier in the day. However, we are more focused and more directed in reaching our goals. And in the evening, the moon conjuncts Pluto at 6:48 p.m. Use this energy this evening for psychotherapy, cleansing and detoxifying routines, or cleaning out that emotional storeroom. Words said during this time in anger will be hard to live down. Express your emotions clearly. Thursday, October the 2nd, the moon moves through Capricorn, the sign of the banker, as our day begins. However, she will become void of course in Capricorn at 11:18 a.m. and remain so for the rest of the day until she moves into the humanitarian sign of Aquarius on Friday morning at 3 a.m. What that means is get your day started early and schedule important tasks in the morning before 11:18 a.m. Very early in the morning, the moon squares Uranus at 1:11 a.m. With this combination of planets, you may not be able to sleep as easily, and your sleep may be restless. You will want more freedom during this time. Later in the morning, the moon sextiles Saturn at 11:18 a.m. We have been having a very productive morning, staying on track, and working our to-do list. This is a great time to work on plans for long-term future security. The moon now becomes void of course in Capricorn at 11:18 a.m. and will remain so until 3 a.m. Friday morning when she enters Aquarius. This is a pretty long, almost 16-hour void of course moon time frame, so make the afternoon hours good for you by working on what's in front of you and not overextending yourself. Friday, October the 3rd, the day begins with the moon void of course in Capricorn. However, she enters Aquarius, the sign of the water bearer, at 3 a.m. and is no longer void of course. At this time, the moon breathes in the rarefied air from Aquarius. In the morning, the moon squares Mercury at 6:43 a.m. All of us are a bit harried this morning. Be sure to slow down and give yourself plenty of extra time this morning. Your daily activities take center stage. In the latter morning, the moon trines Venus at 10:54 a.m. The latter morning is much better, and we are much more relaxed into our day. This is a good time for any type of business activity, and it's an especially good time to have an early lunch with friends. The moon trines the sun at 8:55 p.m. As we finish off our evening with equally pleasant planetary combinations, this planetary alignment favors almost any type of positive activity. But being out with close friends may make it the perfect evening. Saturday, October the 4th. Today is the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. The moon journeys through honest and loyal Aquarius for the entire day. However, she will become void of course in Aquarius at 1:32 p.m. and remain so for the rest of the day until she moves into mystical Pisces on Sunday morning at 4:24 a.m. Our first aspect on Saturday, the moon sextiles Mars at 2:14 a.m. If you're awake, this is a great time for online gaming, a workout at the gym, or just doing what you like best. Also very early in the morning, the sun squares Pluto at 3:03 a.m. Since this aspect has been in effect for the last couple of days, we've been going through an evaluative process in our life, making determinations on simply what works and what doesn't. And in many ways, this energy is forcing us to be much more real than we want to be. We are looking very realistically at our relationships and commitments. If they are not working, we are very likely to bring them to an end. And this energy is made even stronger because of the Mercury retrograde energy. And this aspect will be in effect all day, Sun square Pluto. The moon sextiles Uranus at 3:19 a.m. Although this transit happens very early in the morning, this helps to keep us from going over the edge with this current funky mood from the Sun square Pluto. If you're sleeping, you'll just breathe easier. The moon opposes Jupiter at 6:22 a.m. This is a wonderful morning to be out walking or jogging or just enjoying nature. A good cup of coffee and a delicious pastry will do the trick just as well. Mercury officially turns stationary retrograde at 12:02 p.m. today. Mercury stations in Scorpio and will retrograde back into Libra over the next 22 days. This is one of the strongest times of the Mercury retrograde cycle at the stationary retrograde day or the stationary direct day, which happens later. Things may not go as planned today. Be flexible and address what confronts you in the moment. Mercury will be out of the retrograde period and back up to speed by October 30th. plan your new projects after that time. Use Mercury retrograde to take care of and finish any existing projects you have on hand. And for the aspects for Saturday, the moon squares Saturn at 1:32 p.m. Although we're feeling a strong drive to be productive this afternoon, we're just not able to keep ourselves on track because of this Mercury stationary retrograde day. That's a lot of words, isn't it? Mercury stationary retrograde day. Don't let this time frustrate you. Take 2 steps backward and count to 20. The moon is now void, of course, in Aquarius at 1:32 p.m. and will remain so until 4:24 a.m. Sunday morning when she enters Pisces. This is a fairly long, almost 15-hour, void, of course, moon time frame. Keep your options open and your agenda very flexible. And finally, the last aspect of the day, Mars trines Uranus at 11:18 p.m. Since this aspect has been in effect for the last couple of days, our energy levels have been stronger and more directed toward finding common goals in our community and on the planet. Since Mercury is retrograde, it's much better to plug this energy into existing projects for tried and true methods rather than being experimental. Nevertheless, it's a great evening to get out and be with friends or share in a community activity. And don't be afraid to take the lead. Well, thank you so much for joining me as I share my astrological views about what's going on with the planets for this week, September the 28th through October the 4th, 2014, October the 4th. Join me next week as we explore October the 5th through October the 11th of 2014. And I really want to thank all the people who watch my YouTube show. I really appreciate your support. And so thank you for watching. This is the Lilly Roddy Show coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, and reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye.